Verse 15. And the Most High shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod.
So he's going to do what happened in Egypt before. He's going to smite the tongue of the Red Sea, and our people are going to walk over dry ground again, back into our land. This is going to be greater than us coming out of Egypt. He's going to smite the waters 7 ways, and we're going to walk on dry shod again. Thus saith Ahijah. Read on.
Verse 16. And there shall be an highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt.
That's crystal clear. That's a clear description on how a lot of us will walk in to Israel. Okay?
I think the next one is 2 Ezra 13.
I'm about to say, let's get 2 Ezra 13 and 39, because some people might ask, well, what about the Indian tribes who are over in the Americas?
Second Ezra, chapter 13, verse 39.
Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him.
Another peaceable multitude unto him, read.
Verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Those were the 10 tribes who were carried away prisoner out of their own lands. This happened in 721 BC, when the northern kingdom fell to the Assyrians. Read.
In the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive.
Go ahead.
And he carried them over the waters.
And he carried them over the waters. This is how the Indian tribes got into the new land. Read.
And so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt.
So they took an oath that they would go over the waters and go into a land where no mankind hath dwelt. That's your new world. This is what Christopher Columbus used to find us, to find a path to us, eventually taking us down under the Jesuit order. The Jesuits are a faction of the Catholic Church. The Jesuits is the black cloth of the Roman Catholic Church, sorcerers, and they are Jewish. The Jewish faction of the Roman Catholic Church use these scriptures as a path to take us down by the conquistadors. All right. Christopher Columbus was not a Spaniard. He was only in Spain for 5 years. They used that to hide the Jewish influence in history. Okay, Christopher Columbus was Jewish. He was a Jesuit. He was a Roman. So he used these scriptures and say, you know what? I know what the children of Israel are. It told us that they would go into a land where no mankind dwelt, flowing with milk and honey. You give us the resources and we will deliver these people and this Garden of Eden to you. This is what happened in history. So we know that the Indian tribes over in America are in fact the children of Israel. The people in Puerto Rico, the people that's in the Isles of the Pacific Sea, the Fiji Islands and Hawaii, we know they are all the children of Israel. Read on.
Verse 42. That they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Go ahead.
Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over.
So he kept the waters calm so that the Indian tribes can come over. Now this is years before, this was almost 800 years before Christ came on the scene. This happened. This is around 718 BC when they begin to go over the waters. And it took 1.5 years for them to come into the Americas and start dropping off different tribes to different areas. Read.
Verse 44. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood, till they were passed over.
Go ahead.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely, of 1.5 years.
It took 1.5 years for the Indian tribes to get there. Let's see how they'll come back. Let's see if UFO is going to pick them up. Read.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
Arzareth means hidden land. The Most High hid the land, and our people, the children of Israel from the northern kingdom, were the first people to inhabit it. Read.
Verse 46. Then dwelt they there until the latter time. And now when they shall begin to come,
When the Most High begin to wake them up again, read.
the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again.
He's going to calm the waters again, showing you that those ships are going to come over the waters. And he's going to calm the springs again. Read.
That they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace.
So the Most High is going to have those tribes that went over there, a remnant of them is going to come back the same way they went over. They're not going to come back in planes or UFOs. They're going to be regular ships, but not from the place we call Babylon. How do we know? The Bible tells us that once this happens to Babylon, this last bit of prophecy, no man or beast will be left there. Let's get that in Jeremiah. No man or beast. So how can ships of Tarshish get someone when there's no one left to be gotten? Another thing. Yes, sir.
Is that saying that they'll be got by the ships, or they'll come out by themselves? Isn't that saying something?
Well, it tell you that the Most High is going to send the ships of Tarshish. Okay. Now, they could have some ships themselves also. But we know that's going to be the way of travel. They're going to come through with ships. You understand? That is a good question. I'm going to look into that more. But we know they're not going to come over. It's not going to be what you would call a miracle phenomenon that these people will come back over. You understand? Now, this also could be encompasses where the Gentiles will bring some of the children of Israel over for mercy. So they could be helping with ships to bring them over. You understand? But we know that these ships are over the waters because he will stay the springs again. He will calm the waters again for those tribes to start making their way back to Jerusalem, back to Israel. See that? Yeah.
When you say ships of Tarshish, is that referring to the people being Asians or the area?
It's talking about because that whole area was known for a haven of ships. So many ships border that whole region that you can get many people just by sending out the ships of Tarshish. You can get many people because it's the whole thing. It is a port with thousands and thousands and thousands of ships. You got that? And that region borders what? The land of Israel and everything. You got Egypt right there. That whole region, you can take those ships and go right around and hit all those areas and bring them right into Israel. So the Mediterranean is in proximity of that. And when it tell you about the majority of the waters will be turned to blood, when you do the precepts, the Mediterranean Sea will be almost the only sea that's not tainted at the very end. It will be it still will be a clean sea there. So if you look at the waters, like the bodies of the Atlantic, the bodies of the Pacific, the bodies of water, the majority of that will be done through radiation and everything else. If you look at the Mediterranean is actually held in like a big pond to itself, separated. You understand? So the Most High is going to keep the Mediterranean clean.
Another question to ask them.
Yes, go ahead.
I'll ask you after
Go ahead.
I'll ask after the class is about like location stuff.
Location? Okay, I'll talk to you about it. Let's get that in Jeremiah, right? Which says, read it.
Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 1.
Go ahead.
The word of the Lord that spake against Babylon, against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Moradok is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there shall come up a nation which shall make her land desolate.
Now we know out of the north is talking about Persia or the Medes. You can link that in with 13th chapter, Isaiah 13, which is speaking of the Iranians. Go ahead.
And then none shall dwell therein.
And none, read it again.
And none shall dwell therein.
Say it again.
And none shall dwell therein.
That means after the Iranians get cut loose on that country, no people will dwell there anymore. Now, how do we know this is not talking about ancient Babylon? After the war between the Persians and the ancient Babylonians, there were still people living in Iraq. There were still people living in Babylon after that. So this is a future prophecy of the Medes coming up again against the modern day Babylon. And no people will be left after this. And you notice when George Bush did what he did in Iraq, the first thing they did with Saddam Hussein's palace, they took all his idols out for themselves. All the genie bottles and all that magic stuff he had, they took all that stuff so that they can become the power, so that they can use those guys. This is what these guys deal with. So the Most High says that their power will be broken, their gods will be broken, and no one will be left. Read that again.
Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 3.
Read.
For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her.
That's Iran, and you notice that's being brewed right now. Read.
Which shall make her land desolate.
Desolate means no people. Read.
And none shall dwell therein.
How many people shall be left there?
And none shall dwell therein.
None shall dwell therein. So if there's no people, how can ships get people from there? Read.
They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast.
They shall depart, both man and beast. Now either you voluntarily depart, or you deal with the different, you deal with what's coming. And that's why the Most High said, come out of my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, nor receive of her plagues. That's what the Most High, the God of Israel, is saying. Okay? So I hope we help you with some of the geographical locations. All right? And also you need to notice the fact that the same areas in the Middle East in which the New World Order, the new powers, the NATO troops are trying to topple, are the same areas in which the Most High said he would begin to gather some of his people. You think that's a coincidence? We're in it the last time and they're trying to put a garrison around the same places we will be delivered from? See, this war on terror is not about the terrorists that are operating within the earth. All terrorists in the earth are government created. The reason they're calling us terrorists is not because of what we're doing. They know that once Christ returns, he's going to set up those of us who are following him to terrorize the earth. That's the terrorists they are afraid of. They are afraid of what we will become upon Christ's return. All right? So we hope you have some understanding on the ships of Tarshish. We're here at 2 p.m. Eastern.